I've always been a huge Batman fan, and a big reason for that is Dark Knight, the movie. To this day, it's still my favorite superhero movie ever made, alongside with Dark Knight Returns and Batman Begins. When Rocksteady released Batman Arkham Asylum in 2009, it felt like someone had finally understood exactly what it meant to make you feel like Batman. It wasn't just the combat, the gadgets, it was the way the world itself was designed. As the series evolved into Arkham City and later Arkham Knight, that philosophy grew alongside the scale of Gotham itself. Each game expanded the player's freedom without losing sight of what made exploration satisfying in the first place. The level design constantly encouraged you to think like the world's greatest detective. So today, I don't just want to talk about why the Arkham games are great. Plenty of people have already done that. Instead, I want to focus on something that often doesn't get the attention it deserves. The incredible level and map design that holds the entire trilogy together. From tightly interconnected halls of Arkham Asylum, to the sprawling prison city of Arkham City, and finally to the massive streets of Gotham in Arkham Knight. Each game represents a different philosophy of world design, and together they show how Rocksteady mastered the art of creating spaces that are just as memorable as the characters who inhabit them.
Originally, Infernus wanted to make a Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions video, but the game was having optimization issues. But mainly, the game was crashing. And if it truly worked, Infernus would plan to make a video in the future, and it would be a fun idea as it's a fun game. So, Infernus shifted to Batman Arkham Series, which he wanted to revisit back.
Batman Arkham Asylum marked a turning point for superhero games by showing that a well-designed world could be more impactful than a massive one. Instead of relying on an open world, the game placed layers of a single, isolated island where every location was carefully designed with a purpose. This focused approach created an immersive experience and established many of the design principles that would define the Arkham series. The island is made up of several unique locations, each with its own atmosphere, architecture, and gameplay style. Areas such as the medical facility, intensive treatment, botanical gardens, and Arkham Mansion all feel distinct while remaining connected as part of a single world. This variety keeps exploration interesting and helps players quickly recognize where they are throughout the game. Progression in Arkham Asylum is closely tied to Batman's gadgets. As players unlock new tools, previously inaccessible areas become available, encourage them to revisit familiar locations. This backtracking never feels repetitive because it rewards exploration with new paths, hidden secrets, and additional challenges, making the island feel increasingly interconnected as the story progresses. Movement throughout the asylum makes excellent use of vertical space. Batman can glide between buildings, perch on gargoyles, crawl through vents, and use elevated platforms to stay above enemies. These layered environments give players multiple ways to approach situations while enforcing Batman's identity as a stealthy and strategic vigilante. Although the island itself is relatively compact, its interior spaces provide much of game's gameplay variety. Each building is carefully designed around different mechanics, from predator encounters and combat arenas to detective investigations and environmental puzzles. Every new location introduces fresh ideas, ensuring that the experience remains engaging from beginning to end. One of Batman Arkham Asylum's greatest strengths is how it tells its story throughout the environment. Damaged security checkpoints, abandoned patient rooms, scattered documents, and Joker's graffiti all reflect the chaos that has taken over the island. As the story progresses, the world changes alongside it, making each location feel like a believable place rather than just another level. Despite its interconnected layout, navigating the island is surprisingly intuitive. Distinct landmarks and visual cues help players understand where they are without constantly relying on the map. Exploration is further rewarded through Riddler trophies, hidden rooms, audio logs, and Easter eggs, encouraging players to investigate every corner of the asylum beyond the main story.
After revisiting Arkham Asylum years later, the island feels even more impressive. What first seemed like a simple path through the story reveals a carefully connected world filled with hidden details and memorable locations. Over multiple playthroughs, the routes become familiar, and the level design becomes easier to appreciate. The Asylum feels less like a collection of levels and more like a place with its own identity, proving why it remains.
The biggest strength of Arkham Asylum is its ability to create a detailed and meaningful world without relying on a massive scale. Every area serves a purpose, whether it supports exploration, combat, stealth, or storytelling. The game's interconnected design, strong atmosphere, and carefully planned spaces set a standard for future entries and prove that quality level design matters more than size. Arkham Asylum established the foundation of the Arkham series by creating a focused, immersive environment built around Batman's abilities. However, its success opened the door for something much larger. The next chapter would expand this formula beyond the walls of Asylum and into the streets of Gotham, where Batman Arkham City would transform the series with a bigger world, greater freedom, and new challenges in open world design. Batman Arkham City took the foundation built by Arkham Asylum and expanded it into a much larger and more ambitious experience. Instead of single isolated location, the game introduces an entire section of Gotham transformed into a massive open-air prison. This shift allowed players to explore a broader environment while maintaining the detailed level design, atmosphere, and gameplay systems that made the original game successful. The design of Arkham City focuses on creating a dense urban environment filled with recognizable locations, abandoned buildings, and vertical spaces. The map combines streets, rooftops, interiors, and hidden areas to create a world that feels much larger than the Asylum. Each district has its own visual identity, from the industrial areas controlled by criminals to the more damaged and abandoned sections of Gotham. Unlike Arkham Asylum, where progression was more controlled, Arkham City gives players greater freedom to explore from the beginning. Batman can glide across the city, discover side missions, solve Riddler challenges, and encounter enemies while moving through the world. This open structure makes the player feel more like Batman, allowing them to choose their own path while still following the main story. Traversal becomes one of the strongest aspects of Arkham City's design. The combination of rooftops, towers, bridges, and narrow streets creates a layered environment where Batman's movement abilities become essential. Gliding across the skyline and using gadgets to navigate the city gives players a unique sense of control and makes Arkham City feel like a playground built specifically for Batman. Although the city is the main focus, Arkham City continues the series' tradition of carefully designed interiors. Locations such as the courthouse, steel mill, and various hideouts provide focused gameplay experiences within the larger world. These areas combine combat, stealth, puzzles, and storytelling, creating a balance between the freedom of the open world and the structured encounters that defined Arkham Asylum. Arkham City expands environmental storytelling by turning the map into a reflection of Gotham's criminal underworld. The damaged streets, abandoned buildings, political messages, and gang-controlled territories reveal the consequences of Hugo Strange's experiment. Every part of the city tells a story, showing how different factions have taken the control and created their own territories within the prison walls. With a much larger map, navigation becomes a major part of the experience. The game's landmark, skyline design, and visual direction helps players understand their surroundings while exploring. Side missions, Riddler challenges, and hidden locations encourage players to investigate every corner of Arkham City, making exploration feel meaningful rather than a distraction from the main story.
After spending countless hours exploring Arkham City, the scale of the world becomes one of its most impressive qualities. At first, the city can feel overwhelming compared to the smaller Asylum, but over time, its layout becomes familiar. You begin to recognize shortcuts, memorable locations, and efficient routes across the rooftops. The more you explore, the more you appreciate how the city balances freedom with structure, creating a world that still feels rewarding even after many playthroughs.
The greatest achievement of Arkham City is how it successfully transitions in the series from a contained environment into a full open-world experience without losing its identity. The map feels large but purposeful, with every area supporting exploration, combat, and storytelling. It proved that an open world could still maintain the carefully designed encounters and atmosphere that made the original game successful. While Arkham City expanded Batman's world and gave players greater freedom, it also created a new challenge for the series. How could the next game make Gotham feel even bigger and more immersive? The answer came with Batman Arkham Knight, which would introduce a fully realized version of Gotham City. I just want to cover up this one thing. So, apparently, there is a prequel version for the Arkham games. I don't know when it was released, probably before the Knight game, which is the third game. It's called Batman Arkham Origins. It's not made by Rocksteady, but some people think it's an Arkham game. And there's also the remastered versions of both Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight, which I do not want to cover, and I have the original versions within me. So, yeah, I'm not covering Arkham Origins. Thank you. Batman Arkham Knight represents the final evolution of the Arkham series' approach to map and level design. After Arkham Asylum created a focused, interconnected environment and Arkham City expanded that idea into an open-world prison, Arkham Knight aimed to deliver the ultimate version of Gotham City. The game introduced a much larger and more detailed city designed around Batman's mobility, technology, and role as a protector of Gotham. Gotham City in Arkham Knight is the largest environment in the trilogy, divided into three major islands: Bleak Island, Miyagani Island, and Founders Island. Each district has its own architecture, atmosphere, and challenges, from abandoned industrial zones to heavily populated urban areas. The map is built vertically and horizontally, creating a city that feels more like a living space rather than just a collection of missions. One of the biggest changes in Arkham Knight is the introduction of the Batmobile. As a major part of traversal and gameplay, the city's streets were designed specifically to accommodate high-speed movement, vehicle combat, and puzzle-solving sections. Unlike previous games, where Batman mainly controls the rooftops, the Batmobile adds another layer to exploration and changes how players interact with Gotham. Traversal reaches its peak in Arkham Knight by combining Batman's traditional movement abilities with improving lighting and the Batmobile's mobility. The city's tall buildings, bridges, and narrow pathways create multiple ways to move around the environment. Even with the massive scale of Gotham City, Arkham Knight continues the series' tradition of focused and carefully designed interior levels. Locations such as Ace Chemicals, Pegasus Studios, and the Clock Tower combine stealth, combat, puzzles, and storytelling in tightly crafted environments. These areas provide a contrast to the open-world city by bringing back the structured encounters and cinematic moments that made the previous games memorable. Batman Arkham Knight uses Gotham City as a reflection of the game's darker tone and final chapter in Batman's journey. The abandoned streets, evacuation signs, damaged buildings, and Scarecrow's influence create a city under fear and control. Every district communicates the impact of Arkham Knight's invasion, making the environment feel like it is reacting to the events of the story. With a much larger city, navigation becomes a major focus of the experience. The map is filled with landmarks, hidden areas, side missions, and collectibles that encourage players to explore beyond the main storyline. Activities involving villains such as Two-Face, Penguin, and Riddler add more depth to the world and make Gotham feel like a place filled with ongoing conflicts.
After spending hours exploring Gotham and Arkham Knight, the scale of the city becomes one of its most memorable features. The first experience can feel overwhelming, but eventually the streets, rooftops, and landmarks become familiar. The combination of gliding through the skyline and driving the Batmobile creates a unique sense of freedom, making Gotham feel like the ultimate evolution of the world built throughout the series.
The greatest achievement of Arkham Knight is how it brings together the ideas introduced in the previous games. It combines the focused level design of Arkham Asylum, the open-world freedom of Arkham City, and expands them into a larger and more technologically advanced version of Gotham. While the scale introduces new challenges, the game successfully creates one of the most detailed superhero environments ever made. Across the three games, the Arkham series demonstrates a clear evolution in map and level design. Arkham Asylum showed the power of a focused and interconnected environment. Arkham City expanded that vision into a larger open world, and Arkham Knight delivered the most complete version of Gotham. Together, these games created a blueprint for superhero game design by proving that a world should not only be large, but meaningful, immersive, and designed around the character who inhabits it. The Batman Arkham series is a perfect example of how map and level design can evolve alongside a character's identity. Each game took a different approach to creating Batman's world. Arkham Asylum focused on compact and interconnected environment where every room had a purpose. Arkham City expanded the foundation into a larger open world filled with freedom and exploration. Arkham Knight delivered the ultimate version of Gotham with a massive city built around Batman's abilities and technology. What makes these games stand out is not just the size of the maps, but the thought behind every location. The environments were designed to support Batman's movements, combats, detective skills, and stealth gameplay, making the player feel like they're truly experiencing the role of the Dark Knight. Every rooftop, hallway, and hidden corner contributed to the overall experience. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. But I do want to include Batman Arkham Origins, but I didn't because it's not the scope of the video. Also, I may rebrand the second channel to something else in the future, so no behind the scenes footage for you guys, because it's very complicated to do. And also the next video is going to be about Poke MMO, which is going to be Pokemon, but for PC, and it's an MMO. So any support you guys give me would be appreciated. So that's all, signing off, and again, thank you for watching.